Your musical scrapbook on Here's to Veterans. Here's to Veterans, a salute from this radio station to former servicemen and women, produced by the Veterans Administration. Your musical scrapbook is filled with memories of the great entertainers who made America's music over the past 25 years. A man who produced many hit recordings during those years is Dave Dexter, now with the show business magazine Billboard. Dave, today we're featuring Django Reinhardt.
Django Reinhardt is known as the great French jazz guitar player, but actually that really isn't quite true because Django was a gypsy. He was born in Belgium, but they just stopped the wagons temporarily while he was born, and nobody really is quite sure from what country he's from. Django still is remembered. He's been gone now a little more than 15 years, but he is still remembered and still praised even by today's young rock musicians. He has many, many albums on the market. His old masters are still popular. And, well, let's just listen. Django Reinhardt's guitar, exactly like you. The European gypsy guitarist, Django Reinhardt. And here is the American VA man.
You know, more than 80,000 women and children are getting higher education each year under the GI Bill. Some are the children, wives, and widows of veterans whose deaths or disabilities were connected with their military service. That number also includes the wives and children of servicemen who were missing in action or prisoners of war. If you're eligible, you could get up to 36 months of education or training with financial help from the Veterans Administration. You can go to college, or you can choose job training. Your job training may be taken at a vocational, business, or professional school. It can be apprenticeship or on-job training. A VA counselor or a service organization representative can help you get started. We'll get into more details about that in just a moment, but first here again, Dave Dexter.
Django Reinhardt and his guitar with the Hot Club Quintet of France. This was a very popular group in the 1930s and through most of the 40s, but during the war, of course, Django disappeared, and there were all kinds of reports that he had been killed, that he had been found dead, that the Germans had tortured him. But actually, he was just riding around in a gypsy wagon, and after the war, it was learned he got along fine. He just played wherever he wanted to. And he's really a rather unusual character. Let's hear a little bit more now of Django's guitar, When Day Is Done. Django Reinhardt, and now here's some up-to-date information from the VA.
I was talking earlier, Dave, about widows, wives, and children of veterans. You know, some of them can get higher education or training under the GI Bill. If you qualify, you can get a monthly allowance from the Veterans Administration to go to college or take job training. You can take a VA-approved correspondence course if you're not able to go to a classroom. Benefits can also be paid if you go to a VA-approved college or university in a foreign country. The VA's educational program for the dependents of veterans also provides benefits for restorative training for physical or mental handicaps. Financial help can be given while taking courses in speech and voice correction, lip reading, and Braille reading and writing. Special vocational training can be provided too. For complete details, call, write, or visit your nearest Veterans Administration Assistance Center or Service Organization representative. Now, let's go back again to Dave Dexter.
The remarkable thing about Django, as all musicians know, is that when he was a child, one of the wagons in which he lived as a gypsy had some kind of a terrible accident one night, and the little stove inside the wagon overturned, the wagon caught fire, and Django was critically burned. He actually lost the use of 2 fingers on his hand, and yet, despite this handicap, he developed his own guitar style, and I think you'll agree as you listen to him that there's just nobody else gets that same sound, that same rhythm, and the marvelous knowledge of chords. So let's listen once more to Django. This one is an old American song called Rose Room. Now from Duke Ellington, Duke Ellington's Solitude, the guitar of Django Reinhardt. On this session, it's been our privilege to present the music of the late Django Reinhardt. This is Dave Dexter, and I do thank you for listening.
Thanks to Billboard Magazine's Dave Dexter for presenting your musical scrapbook as a tribute to America's veterans. This radio station has contributed broadcast time in the public interest to this program, produced by the Veterans Administration. All of us join in saying, "Here's to veterans."
Hello, veterans. This is Russ Carlyle in Las Vegas with a reminder for you. Veterans Administration hospitals and clinics serve millions of veterans throughout the year, and the VA likes to give fast and effective service, too. Veterans can help by calling the VA for a medical appointment. Call for an appointment before you go to the VA hospital or clinic.